When you're starting a business or even scaling a business, it's super important to have resources that will give you accurate and timely information, such as when and how to pay your taxes. As you're building your team, who do you go to for trusted information? Stay tuned. We're going to talk about all of that and more in today's episode of Entrepreneur Insider. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Entrepreneur Insider. I'm your host and the founder of the Black Entrepreneurs Network, Tia Robertson. Now, in this week's edition, I want to introduce you to an invaluable, informative resource that's going to help answer the question that I asked at the top of the show and more. It is super important that as an entrepreneur, business owner, freelancer, CEO, no matter what you call yourself, you pay taxes to the government. Now, these taxes, of course, are going to be different than the personal taxes. They're going to be for your business. And that's why it's super important that you formed a legal entity, the one that's most appropriate for your situation, that you have an employee identification number, that you have a system to pay payroll if you have employees, or 1099s to any contractors, and more. Now, I realize a lot of these things may be over your head or they may be terms that you've never heard of. And that's why I want to introduce you to today's resource. It is super important that not only do we get information, but we get information from a source that's trusted to give us accurate and timely information. And unfortunately, in communities of color, sometimes we don't have access to that information or those sources or those people, those resources. And so that's why the Black Entrepreneurs Network was formed and why we have this show. So I can introduce those people to you. Now, I'm not going to try to pretend that I know a lot about accounting or payroll or taxes. I do what I need to do for my business. But trust me, what I do is probably totally different than what you need to do. Get ready to open and add to your business toolbox. I want to introduce you to someone today that's going to give you accurate and timely information, someone that you're probably going to want to add to your business team to help you start and scale your business for longevity that you can pass down to your family. His name is Dakota Grady. He is the owner of Upstate Essential Solutions, LLC. Hey, I want you to do me a favor. Don't just watch this featured interview, but be sure to share it with others because I promise you, everyone who has a business needs to know business accounting and tax information, sometimes even payroll. So be sure to share it with someone in your community, do them that favor, and be sure to follow Dakota, like his information and his content, and share his information with your community as well. Because even if what he's going to share isn't applicable to you, I promise you it is applicable to someone that you know. Hey everyone, I am super excited to introduce you to this week's featured entrepreneur, Dakota Grady. He is a money coach and a speaker. He has led a personal finance class, 6 steps to maximize your money to help people become better managers of their money. And he's coached many families and individuals on how to get control of their finances and eliminate debt. Since 2010, Dakota has coached people on how to create money plans, crush their debt, save for unexpected events, and to pursue their financial goals. Today, we're going to learn all about Dakota and his business, Upstate Essential Solutions, LLC. Welcome, Dakota. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for this opportunity, Tia. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you coming and letting us learn all about you today. So, before we start with the questions about your business, I would like to ask you, what lesson did you learn from one of your most difficult or challenging clients?
Great question.
Thank you.
keep a level head because I've learned that when you get angry, it doesn't change the circumstances. It doesn't change the person. And for me, that's not who I want to become.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great lesson to learn. I still am working on that level headed part. So all right, perfect. All right. So tell us all about yourself. Tell us about Upstate Essential Solutions. Where are you located? Why did you start your company? What do you offer? All that good stuff.
Well, thank you first for having me as a guest. I am
Absolutely.
Dakota Grady from Greenville, South Carolina, born and raised here, but moved away for about 8 years.
Okay.
And I'm from a low income family. My mom and dad has 7 children. You may
Oh,
have heard of the Brady Bunch, right? Well, my
absolutely.
last name is Grady, so you say Grady Bunch, go
Ah,
figure.
cool.
And if you
Yeah.
haven't heard of the Brady Bunch, go search online. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
we grew up struggling on welfare. We lived in government housing. And that was one reason why I do what I do because my background really scarred me because I didn't want to struggle financially. Mom and dad took us over my grandmother's house one time because our power got disconnected. And that was something that really encouraged me not to ever want to go back there. So struggling financially, and then I had a gift of handling money, but I didn't realize it until I guess later when in terms of monetizing it. So 2010, started coaching people, my family, and then moved to Tennessee and started teaching it and wrote a book, How It Broke,
Yep.
my second version of the book.
Okay.
And now I also do accounting and taxes as well. But personal finance is my passion. So I help people to maximize their money so that they won't have to go through what I went through. So going from financial stress to financial success is my goal for my clients.
I love that, definitely. And I think we all would want to relieve that stress. So I applaud you. One thing I noticed, which is I think you're kind of like a diamond in the rough. You actually went to college and studied accounting and you actually implemented that and followed a career, made a career out of that. Say, you're not like the rest of us, right? Who went like I went to school for engineering and now I'm doing something totally different. Is that just really because you have a passion for numbers and finance and improving people's situations? Is that how you kind of stayed focused on getting an education and, forming a career in that industry?
Actually, no. So when I got out of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But even before then, when I was in middle school, I think maybe seventh grade, a guy came to talk to our students to the class about becoming a CPA, a certified public accountant, right? And as I got older, I forgot all about that. When I got out of high school, I went to school for welding because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Got a degree, then went to school for a bachelor's in marketing.
Okay.
Year after that, didn't know what I wanted to do. Got into the working field. I was an auditor. I traveled around the country auditing collection agencies. Hated
Huh.
my job, quit my job, talked to a lady about what I wanted to do. And I was going to be a certified financial planner.
Okay.
Then I talked to a lady. She convinced me to do accounting. So I went back to
Ah,
school for accounting in 2009. Got a degree in 2011. Got into the field, and then I was working for people from 2012 until 2020. March 2020, I lost my job, but I had years of experience of working with people doing the same thing. So I started my business in April 2020 during the pandemic, and I made more money that year basically than I made for other people.
absolutely.
So that's how it came about.
Yeah, so I love the story from turning lemons to lemonade is exactly what you did. So, and you listened to someone who, saw that in you and encouraged you into accounting. So cool. That's a great story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
Okay. So tell us, what specific services can we retain you for, whether it's on the money coaching side or the like accounting tax side? How can you
All right,
help
so if
people?
you want help with your personal finances, I offer financial coaching one-on-one. I also offer I have a book
Yeah,
called
see,
Broke.
perfect.
Tickets to Fix American Financial Crisis. Came out this year. You can get it online,
Congratulations.
Amazon.com. Get your copy of it. Also available in ebook.
Okay. And we'll make sure that we share the image and a link in the show
Yes.
notes. Okay.
And then you also get me to come speak to your group, whether
Yes,
it's your
absolutely.
business or church or any kind of organization about personal finances.
Okay.
And then if you need help, well, I also got a course coming out called the
Yes.
Your Money Academy. It's a 7-week course, like 7-week course. Because when you handle money, I think if you want to change your life financially or any area, but for this reason, the money financially, you'll take 7 weeks out of your life to improve where you want to be.
Absolutely.
And the classes are about 30 minutes long, roughly
Okay.
30 to 45 minutes long. So I'm not gonna hold you a long time, but it's packed with information that can change your life if you learn and apply it. No point of going through the course if you're not going to apply what you learn.
Okay.
So 7-week course talking about money and helping you to go from financial stress to financial success. And it'll be launching in September, and I'll give you more information about that at the end of the show, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know a lot of people probably need to take the course, including myself. Because there's always that question, right? How do we go from stress to success? But like, in what order, right? Like, do we pay off debt first or do we save first? So I'm sure you can probably help us clear up all those questions, right?
Right. And
Okay.
then you're looking for help with your business, offer accounting,
Okay.
monthly bookkeeping, and then you get the financial statements at the end of the month so you know how your business is doing. And I also do taxes, year-end taxes. So if I do your bookkeeping for you, accounting, I can do your taxes for you too. That way, if you want to change between somebody doing the bookkeeping and accounting and the taxes, it's all together. And then I also offer business advisory or business coaching. Give people a strategy, goals, and hold them accountable.
Love it. Okay. Now here's a question. I'm sure a lot of people ask you, but if they haven't, there's people out there that probably feel the same way I do. What is the difference between bookkeeping and accountant? Because I've kind of heard them used synonymously, but then obviously there's two different words, so something is different, right? So
Right.
what's the difference between the two of those things?
So bookkeeping is the data that you put into the software. So if you're using a
Oh,
software and you put information in there and you don't analyze, you just put it in there and then that's
okay.
it. The accounting where you analyze what we put in there, make sure everything's put in the correct accounts. You get financial statements so you can make decisions on it. Like how much did you earn or spend? Look at the trends in your business. Are you overspending in certain areas? Do you need to increase your income? That's what you get the accounting part of. You're looking at the information
Ah,
that's put into it, analyze it, get reports, and make decisions.
okay. That was an amazing explanation. Yes, I definitely, like, side note, am going to talk to you about coming to speak at the Black Entrepreneurs Network because that is so, you made it seem so simple, but a lot of times we don't know that. And we really need to. So that probably explains why I talk to a lot of people that don't do their taxes because they're just like, and I'm like, don't tell me, I don't want to be a witness. But okay, so thank you so much for telling us, yeah, the difference between. Okay, so who is your target audience? Like, who are the people that you can and want to most help?
Great question. For personal finance, mostly I've coached Black women
Okay.
because if you think about it, well, I guess most of Black women were women in general, but my focus is African Americans because we made so much money as a collectively. I forget the source, but I think we made $1.9 trillion as a people, which is more than the GDP of the country of Mexico. Right?
Wow.
If you look at the history of back in segregation, Martin Luther King Jr. basically said to take your money out of all these businesses, right? If we as a people collectively put our money together, we could be unstoppable, basically. But look at our community. We don't really own things. If we own
Right.
something, it's like not saying something against these businesses, but car wash or the beauty salon.
Liquor
Nothing's wrong
store.
with that. But if you're gonna run that business, scale it.
Absolutely.
If you have a beauty salon, take yourself out of doing hair, rent the booths out, get you some rental income coming in, and replicate that thing. If you
Absolutely.
got a location in Greenville, you can do one in Spartanburg or Anderson or Charlotte. But make sure you get stream of income so you can replicate yourself. Because you don't want to be in that chair doing hair for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. I love
African
this.
Americans, women on the personal finance side, business side, I'm focusing on practitioners
Okay.
who own businesses. Because some NPs or nurse practitioners or DNPs, doctors and nurse practitioner, they own practices. They may be limited in terms of their scope of practice, but they are legitimate businesses and they need help with accounting.
Absolutely. Okay.
But my second thing is I'm trying to get known everywhere. Like
No, that's right.
I don't care who needs my services in terms of that. I mean, I want to get known around the world because enough people will know me in order for me to serve them.
Yeah,
I can't serve everybody. Everybody not like me. The whole point is if people don't know who I am, it's my problem, not theirs.
absolutely. Yes. Ah, yes. Okay. So, what would you say differentiates you and the services? Well, not even the services you offer, right? Because some people offer similar services, but what differentiates you? What makes us say, oh my God, we have got to work with Dakota and let other people know that they've got to work with him as well?
Great question. So I think my passion, man, like a passion, one thing, I can't be someone else. I can only be me.
Yeah.
My experience of being low income and going from struggling to where I am today is I think we can help people too. They can see this dude, he's a real deal. If you look at my social media, I mean, I'm trying to be everywhere, like because I'm a person of action, not just talking about things. I like to get stuff done. So if you want to work with me, if you're not good, want to put the work in, we're not gonna don't come to me basically. Put the work in,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
give you the plan. I'm gonna hold you accountable. One and then two, I think I know people who are CPAs
Okay.
and they don't know what I know with personal finances.
Absolutely.
And I'm a black man. Two,
Mhm.
three, I know accounting and I know about tax and I know about personal finances. How many black people you know who know about all three of them?
Not a lot.
Right.
Not a lot. Just that
So
alone. Yeah.
right. So I mean, I'm to my horn. I know what I'm talking about. And if I don't know what I'm talking about, I do my research. One, two, I have people on the network who's smarter than me, who know more than I do to collaborate with me if I need help my clients. So I think that if people need help with personal finance in the business and they want to really change their lives financially, and not only that, but change their mindset and put in the work to make it happen, come talk to me.
Absolutely. Yes. I love the, self-confidence and the positive because I promise you, and you mentioned accountability, your education, all those things do absolutely set you apart. And you're right. I don't know if I know any other black men accountants. So you're right. There was this one guy, I don't know if he was an accountant when I lived in Baltimore that did taxes and he wasn't really on the up and up. So we're going to kind of discount him. Because like I said, he really don't really count. So absolutely. So we want to, yes, encourage everybody to connect with, our black man right here who's knowledgeable and educated. All right. So how did you come up with the name of your business? And then do you have a different and I think you mentioned they're all housed under the same name, but just to clarify for people that want to reach out to you, do you have a different name for your coaching and your speaking business than your accounting practice, or are they all housed under the same business name?
Well, I guess I had two different ones, but then I just put them all up under one because they go both hand in hand.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
people struggle financially, personally, and they make money, whether they're in business or as an employee, they'll be broke. So imagine if someone doesn't know how to handle money. They're making a lot of money in their business and make the money, bring it home, and they'll be broke. They'll spend all of it. So for me, my goal is to help them understand personal finance, handle the money well, start a business and grow it, scale it, make a lot of money, bring it home, become wealthy. That's my goal.
Okay. Love it. I love that. Okay. And I see from your website you have a guide that almost everybody who wants to keep money in their pocket needs and can use. It's called The Secret to Pay Less Taxes. Can you tell us about that guide?
I can actually. That secret is I'm gonna tell you it's not a secret, but the
Okay.
secret is start a business
Ah.
because if you're an employee, you really don't have a lot of deductions anymore
Okay.
because the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act basically did away with things like if you get your tax prepared by someone, you can't write that off anymore. You can't deduct that. Or if
Oh,
you can't get reimbursed for employee expenses that you get reimbursed for in the past. So
yeah.
now you can get deduction, but even if you get deduction, unless you have a big itemization, like if you itemize a lot,
Hmm.
you will make more or you can deduct more for itemizations that exceed the standard deduction. Otherwise, you take the standard deduction and that's it. But if you start a business, if we were to go out to lunch, you and I, Tia,
Yeah.
talk about just having a good time, say we get friends and everything, we can't deduct that expense. However, if we go to a networking event, have lunch after the fact, talk about business,
Absolutely.
we can deduct that as a
Yeah.
business expense. So if you make money in your business and you got a loss in your business, meaning you spend more than you made,
Hmm.
the loss is say you got a job and you have a side hustle. The loss will offset your W-2 wages.
Okay.
Meaning, if you got, say, income of $10,000
Mhm.
and your business had a loss of $2,000, you can pay taxes on what? $8,000.
Okay.
Not the whole 10, the 8. But
Right.
if you didn't have a loss, you have no business, you can pay tax on the whole $10,000 because you're an employee.
Okay.
So start a business, get
Huh.
deductions, and make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, can I talk about business for a moment?
Absolutely.
So if you have a business, do these things. I want to help you because I'm here to help people.
Yeah.
And thank Tia for the opportunity for this. If you have a business, make sure you get someone to set up your entity right. Do you need to be a sole proprietorship? It depends. An LLC or a limited liability company? It depends. S corporation? It depends. C corporation? It depends. So you have to talk to somebody who knows about those things, give you the pros and cons of each one. You decide which one's best for you, and you make it happen. Decide I want to be an LLC. Now you can be an LLC single member or multi-member. Single member LLC is basically to get protection for your personal assets. If someone were to sue you, they can't take your house. It owns you the business. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I heard people say you can pierce a corporate veil. Well, get a lawyer to tell you more if that's true or not. But the whole point is you get your personal assets protected. But if you are a multi-member LLC, meaning two or more people in the LLC, by
Mhm.
default you will become a partnership according to the IRS.
Okay.
A partnership would get to file a 1065, a partnership return. Each person on that partnership return will get a Schedule K1,
Hmm.
meaning the income will flow from the business to you to be filed on your personal tax return.
Okay.
Those are the things to consider. Also, make sure you get a business bank account.
Yes.
And don't co-mingle your funds. Now, it's fine if you fund your business with personal funds, but don't take money out of your business to pay your phone bill for your personal. Don't do
Right.
that.
Absolutely.
Pay your personal with your personal and pay your business with business.
Absolutely. Yes.
And I say earlier we talked about bookkeeping and accounting.
Hmm.
Make sure you hire somebody to do it for you. Don't do it yourself.
All right. I think I see you looking right at me because I'm guilty. I'm not even gonna lie.
Well,
Okay.
not you, but I'm saying like the audience.
Right.
because
Yeah, we talking to the audience. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No.
because all right, I'm not an engineer, right? So by
Mhm.
trade, I do accounting. So if I need to get somebody to build a bridge, you get somebody who does an engineer, not an accountant, right? I don't
Absolutely.
do building bridges. I would call Tia a VA or some, she may do a VA. Tia, can you do this back office for me? Because that's not my area of strength. I make money. I'm not doing the back office. Can you do it for me? Right?
Absolutely.
So and you save you time, right, and money.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you say when someone says, because this was amazing advice, and actually, you kind of stole one of my questions I have for you later, but I appreciate it. So, okay, what do you say? Because I come across this all the time. You know what I do. You know, we met at a networking event, so I always meet a lot of prospective and existing entrepreneurs, and they're like, Tia, you do tell me that I need to outsource, you know, and like I said, again, I'm guilty of, you know, do as I say, not as I do. But but you know, but they're like, I don't have the money for an accountant or a bookkeeper or a coach. What do you say, you know, for those people to help them either start, you know, on kind of like a bootstrapping level, or let them know that they really do have the money? It's just a matter of looking at things differently. Like, what advice do you give them?
Great question. So let me put in my personal finance hat first.
Okay.
I don't do debt. Like I don't do debt. I do debt for one reason. That's a house, and that's it.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't borrow money. My business is debt free. So
Oh, oh.
now take off my hat, put on my business
Okay.
hat. So
Okay.
if people they can fund their business in two ways, and only two ways, in my opinion. My opinion.
Okay.
One, I say why use YM, your money to fund your business. Because when you borrow money and you pay it back, you making somebody else rich, the banker, right?
Right.
You pay principal plus interest. The interest is how you make somebody else's money.
Mm-hmm.
So use your money, not OPM, because OPM costs you more money.
Exactly.
Right. And then you get paying clients.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Right?
That's where the money comes from. Okay.
Exactly. And then if you can't afford it, at
Mm-hmm.
least do a spreadsheet or keep your receipts, write it down or something, but don't do nothing though. Don't put your head in the sand and say, I can't afford it. I'm not gonna do nothing. Anything in my accounting, because I know people to this day who have businesses and they aren't doing accounting. At least not that I'm aware of.
Right. Yeah. I know, unfortunately, plenty of people that aren't doing accounting. Like I said, even and not just they're not doing their own taxes, but even now a lot of them have businesses and they're not doing accounting. And sometimes I don't think they're even doing their business taxes. So okay, perfect. That's great advice. Thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
What is a common myth about like accounting or tax services or even payroll that you hear frequently? Like, you know, there's always like myths and stuff going around on social media, and you hear that and you like, that's crazy. Like, I wish I could tell them that is a myth, and not necessarily the truth. Is there anything like that?
I would say that you can write off your vehicle fully, I think.
Oh,
Maybe. All
okay.
right, so this thing I learned recently.
Okay.
So I had a client. I was doing actually. I have a friend of mine. We partnered together for taxes, and we're trying to get this return done. The client had a vehicle. We tried to write it off, and we're like, well, we can't. We're trying to write the whole vehicle off, and the software wouldn't let us do it. So we did a little workaround. Well, I did another client the same way, and I found out that you could only deduct up to $18,200 for a
Oh,
vehicle. I'm like, because you can do 179, which is basically a depreciation. You can basically depreciate assets up to like $1 million, right? But it cannot be a vehicle. You can't fully depreciate a whole vehicle. You can only fully depreciate up to 18.2, and the rest of that money you got to depreciate over time. You can't do the whole vehicle one time. I learned that by mistake. I was like, man.
yeah.
So people say, "Oh, go get you a luxury vehicle." Yes, you can deduct that up to a certain amount, and then after that, you got to dispense it, capitalize it over time.
Okay.
That's one myth. And then another one, I think, this is my opinion, that you got to go get. All right, so people say black folks can't get access to capital, right? That's a myth,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just gave you two ways how you raise funding. You fund your
Absolutely.
business by your money, YM.
Right.
Well, I don't want to spend my money. Well, you don't want to be in business either, because you're gonna All right, so let me give an example.
You say that louder for the people in the back. Yes, if you can't
Yes.
spend your money, you don't need to be in business. Okay, sorry. I just
Right.
wanted to repeat that.
Yeah, thank you. Because what if, all right, let me play the devil's advocate. What if you start a business January of 2020? I said 2020, right?
Right.
We got a restaurant business. I got me a loan from the SBA.
Okay.
All right. Here comes March. COVID hits.
Right.
I'm gonna be the advocate and say there's no PPP loan, there's no IVA loan, there's no loan being given out. You got one business, you're single, no, you're not married, you're single, no savings.
Wow.
The bank wants its money. You don't have any jobs. Your business income is the business. How are you gonna pay it back?
Oh, I
You
guess
can't.
you
You
can't,
broke.
right? Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So my point is, if we haven't been bailed out by the government, PPP loans, IDA loans, people will be broke.
Absolutely.
I mean, people are already broke already. Then,
Absolutely.
so
Yeah.
my goal is to get people to realize they can use their own money to fund their business. It may take some time, but you don't want to go in a lot of debt because once you get debt, your client is no longer your client. Your client is your banker.
Yeah, exactly. And in some cases, even your boss, because now you like doing whatever they want, anything they want, because you just want that money. Yep. I understand. Absolutely. That is, oh my God, that is great. Okay, I'm loving this interview. All right, so another question for you. When it comes to your marketing strategy, which method has been the most effective for you?
Mm.
Has it been
Social
social
media,
media
honestly.
or something else? Social media?
Social media
Okay.
free. Like Facebook. I'll say Instagram second, Facebook because I try to post consistently at least once a day.
Okay.
Video or either something. I try to post once a day. Pictures. Recently, I've been doing more pictures because I'm meeting people. I'm engaging people. So I'm saying people, this is hey,
Absolutely.
I'm trying to blow up. I want to be everywhere. So that's my goal. Post pictures, videos, and I also hire somebody to do my social media too. So I do that, and I let the person post as well.
Yes, perfect. Okay. Now, and I like a couple things out of that you just said that I like. One, you didn't say I'm on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn and Snapchat and Pinterest. Like, it sounds like, well, we talked earlier who your target audience is, where they are, and that's the platform that you're sharing your content. And not only are you being consistent and realizing that all content is not the same, pictures are effective, as well as just being informational, but using, outsourcing, the same thing you just kind of mentioned, right? You're walking the walk and talking the talk. You're willing to create your own content as well as outsource to a social media manager. So I definitely applaud you for that. All right. As someone who used to manage social media, I promise you that is worth applause.
Yes. So I do use Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I don't use TikTok or Pinterest, none of that stuff. I'm just, yes. I don't even use Twitter because Twitter is like,
yeah. But see, the thing is, and don't get me wrong, on all those platforms, there's people who need your help, right? But you just can't be everywhere all the time. Unless, I promise you, even if you ask your social media manager to do all those things, they will be charging you so much money. You like, I can't pay you to manage 9 platforms. Yeah, so I'm going to share your usernames down below in the show notes. But as we're having this conversation, do you want to just let us know really quick what your username is on, Facebook or Instagram? I think you said, I can't remember what other platform you just said you were on, but if you want to share your usernames now, you're welcome to.
Yes, thank you. So for Facebook, it's Dakota Grady. Okay. It's my name. Instagram is DG the Money Coach.
Okay.
LinkedIn is Dakota Grady, and then also I have a podcast, Your Money Hour Podcast. It comes out monthly, and it's actually listened to in 8 countries. So I'm like, so I'm doing good there. It's not a lot, but it's still people in 8 countries know who I am, so that's good.
Absolutely. Right. I would say that means you are a global podcast. You want to take those kudos. Right.
Right.
And is your podcast available? Now, I'm still learning about podcasts, so bear with me. I know some things are like Spotify and Apple, and some things like, how do we find your podcast?
So if you want to do YouTube, just type in Your Money Hour.
Okay.
I'm on Spotify, Overcast, Google, Apple. I think like 8 platforms, I believe.
Okay. Perfect. Well, to go with 8 countries. See, there you go.
Right.
All right, perfect. Yes, I encourage everyone to definitely check out Dakota's podcast and his social media. I'm going to say it at the end. You all know I've probably already said it in the intro. Definitely like, share, follow. It's absolutely free. And we want to encourage other people of color the same way we want people to encourage us and support us. So absolutely go to those platforms and podcasts. Okay. So I know we met recently at a networking event. Everyone that knows me knows I'm a huge advocate for networking, the real networking, the power of networking, and how it can make a difference in our lives, in our businesses, in our communities, particularly of color. But I'd like to know from you, why, did you attend the networking event? Is networking with other people and entrepreneurs important to you in your business? And why is it important if it is? And why not if it's not?
So, all right. Great question. Networking is important because it's not who you know, it's who knows you.
Absolutely.
You want people to speak your name in rooms you're not even in. That's the whole point. You want to have referral partners too. Meaning, if I got a client who needs VAs, well, no, hold on, take that back. If I got a client who needs service.
Oh, and that's weird because most time people are like, yeah, send me business. Okay, for everybody that's watching, you all know I'm a VA, but I'm trying not to. Right. So, which I know is kind of the opposite. But I will say this, for people that do send me referrals, I will give them a reputable VA referral that they can work with that I know. But okay, sorry, go ahead.
Right. So if Tia had services that she wanted to do, for example, and one of my clients needed, I knew, and I trusted Tia, I would refer that person to Tia.
Absolutely.
And Tia would hopefully service the person good, and then also give me a referral fee.
Yes.
And then vice versa. Absolutely. If I had a service that Tia's clients need, or friends need, or sister needs, and she refers me, and the client becomes my client, I'll give her a referral fee.
Yes.
So network is important for that reason, to grow your business. And also, once you get help, and then you help other people in the process. And then my second reason is because I want to get known, like, around the world. So that's why I'm trying to network too with everybody.
Yes. And that's the way to do it. Like you said, let people know you so that they can share, everybody who you are. Absolutely. I saw on your website, there were a couple logos towards the bottom. Are those partnerships? And if so, how important are strategic partnerships to the success of your business?
So actually, there were like some former clients, I believe.
Okay. At the bottom. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So former clients. Yeah, partnerships. I want to do more of the strategic partnerships, like I mentioned earlier, with referral partners. That way, if my client, so I'm servicing practitioners, right? Mm-hmm. If they have vendors who do, say, medical supplies, I want to get in contact with all the vendors that do medical supplies for NPs, but no practitioners. That way, I can get more referral fees. I was told that if you get 100 referral partners, out of the 100, you get 20 of them, send you one a day. You got 20 days in a month, right? Monday through Friday, you get one a day.
Absolutely.
Grow your business that way. Scale it.
And it's as simple as that. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, love it. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, I've been having such a great time. I think I lost my lost my place in my notes. Okay. Do you have, I know we talked about the Your Money Academy that's coming up in September. We talked about your podcast, but do you have any other events or that are coming up, like webinars or anything like that, any speaking events that we should know about, potentially attend or share?
Good question. I do not yet. So need to work on that more to get more speaking events. But my last one was in Asheville, North Carolina. Actually,
Okay.
I was spoken event. It was a Western North Carolina Black Business Expo.
Okay.
So I'll probably connect you with the person too after off air. But I did that one. I also did a virtual one in my home state. It was with the Community Works, and it's an organization that helps small businesses
Oh,
too.
yeah, I've heard of them. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Well, you have on tape that I will be sending you an invitation to come and speak as a professional development speaker at one of our events as well.
Awesome.
So, absolutely. So, you'll definitely have some speaking invitations coming from this way. Okay, so one last question, and this is the one that I kind of mentioned earlier. You've already kind of touched on this, but I have the feeling you are a wealth of knowledge. You probably have a little bit more you want to share. What advice would you give someone, particularly a person of color, that wants to start a business? Now, my initial question was, particularly when it comes to registering their business, getting an EIN, and setting up a bank account, which of course you already touched on that. But just in general, like, someone comes to you or you see someone and they're like, hey, I want to start a business. Or, we can kind of tweak it. Maybe they have a business, but they want to scale, right? Because I know you do some coaching as well. What advice would you give them?
I would say, look around you. What businesses are existing there as a fields of need? For example, people need help with taxes every year, right? Every year. People need help with groceries, right? People that eat food,
Yep.
groceries. People that need dry cleaning, put clothes,
Oh,
gas stations, need gas, right?
yeah.
So you need, in my opinion, this is a shift for me too because a passion is personal finance, but what really pays the bills is accounting and taxes, right? And my goal is to get to a point where I can find myself from doing accounting and taxes and then do what I really want to do, which is personal finance. But it's still all up under the same umbrella. So I have a need-based business though. So if I scale the business up to a point where I can find myself, I'm still making money in my sleep, hire my team, work for me, making money, and I can go do what I want to do. So I would recommend, even if you don't like what you're doing, it pays the bills. If you're in the business that pays the bills, just do it. Endure it. Get it to a point where you can actually move into where you want to do. Because you have a business, you have to base solidified. You got your bills paid, and you're not struggling. Now you can focus on marketing the part of your business that you really want to do.
Absolutely. Yes. You dropping all the gems. Thank you so much. This has been an amazingly insightful interview, and I totally appreciate the time that you spent with us today, Dakota. Before we end, is there anything else you would like to add?
Well, you can check out my website at dakotagrady.com for personal finance, or if you need accounting and tax needs, it's theatdoc.com, THEATDOC.com, and my podcast is the Your Money Hour podcast. You can check it out on anywhere you listen to a podcast. And then I want to give a big shout out to Tia for starting the Black Entrepreneurs Network, because one thing I see missing, even in my area, is Black folks doing business with each other, networking with each other. So I want to commend you for that, and I also thank you for the opportunity to be in your show.
Yes, thank you so much. Again, this was an amazing interview. For more information about Dakota, his tax, payroll, accounting, or any of the other services that he mentioned in this interview, be sure to reach out to him. All of his contact information is posted in the show notes down below. Now, I want to know more about you and your business. If you'd like to be featured in an upcoming episode, or if you'd like to sponsor an upcoming episode, be sure to email me at info@theblackentrepreneursnetwork.com. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I look forward to reading your notes in the comments down below. And any show ideas that you have, I want you to post those in the comments as well. As always, this show is brought to you in partnership with Relationship Entertainment Television. Check out their full line of positive and engaging programming. They're on the web, they're on Facebook, they're on Roku. They stream 24/7, so there's no reason why you shouldn't check them out. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, be sure to do so now and share it. And while you're there, hit that bell so you're notified when new episodes of this show, Entrepreneur Insider, premiere every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Until next time, don't forget, be great. Peace.
Tune in to Millionaire Man Cave, only on Relationship Entertainment Television, Tuesdays at 8 p.m.
This is Tyron
and Nicole with your weekly RATV news break. Each Thursday at 12 noon Eastern, we'll come to you with the latest news, trends, and more with a positive spin.
We know there's a lot of positive news that doesn't get reported, but we want to give you the opportunity to share your story here on RATV. If you have a positive news story you want us to share, you can submit your story to news@re-tv.net.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Relationship Entertainment Television YouTube channel. Download the new RATV Live app on your mobile device and follow Relationship Entertainment Television on your favorite social media platform.
Don't forget, make sure you tune into the RATV News Break each Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Until then, be blessed and be great.
Welcome to What's Going On? My name is Demita Joe. Each Wednesday, you can find me here at 3 p.m. I'll be over here discussing different things that are going on and try to bring you a boost of positivity for your week because we all need this. We're going to share some feel-good stories. We might find a hometown hero. We may take a look at some trending topic. And sometimes we might even find a lesson in a not-so-warm and fuzzy story if we can. I'm Demita Joe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode right here on What's Going On?
Hey, it's your girl Tia Robertson. I'm the host of Entrepreneur Insider. Right here on RATV, every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern for entrepreneurs and news that you need to know about. See you there.